Good morning, class 10 student. Welcome again in online science classes. In our first part, we learnt about what is chemical reaction. Let's talk about what is chemical equation and how to write chemical equation. How to chemical equation write? The description that addition of water to calcium oxide cause the formation of colorless precipitate and release of heat in only word is quite long. A shorter description is calcium oxide plus water gives calcium hydroxide. This is a word equation. The substances which undergo the chemical change are called the reactant and are the written on the left side of the arrow in the word equation. The substance which are formed after the chemical change are called the products and are written on the right side of the arrow in the word equation. Plus sign is used to add reaction and product in the word equation. However, the shorter form of a description, a chemical reaction with least number of the word and symbol is called the chemical equation. Writing chemical equation. A chemical equation prescriptively described a chemical reaction in a compact form by using the chemical formulas of the reactant and product. The reactant and product are chemical compounds. The molecule of these compounds are made up of atoms of individual elements. A chemical formula describes the chemical compounds in terms of the symbols of the constituent elements and subscripted to represent the number of atoms of each element in the compound. The formulas of calcium oxide, water, and the compound formed after reaction calcium hydroxide are shown. For example, zinc metal react with dilute HCl to yield zinc chloride and liberate hydrogen gas. One other example, sodium sulfate react with barium chloride to give white precipitate of barium sulfate. Chemical balancing. In a chemical reaction, an atom is the smallest particle of an element according to its mass. According to the principle of law of the conservation of mass, mass can be neither be created nor be destroyed. That is the mass of the reactant and the mass of the product before and after the chemical reaction should not change. It further means that the number of atoms of each element forming the reactant and the product should remain constant. In this way, application of the law of conservation of mass principle on chemical equation give rise to the need of balancing chemical equation. Let's talk about systematic method of chemical balancing. Step 1. Represent the reactant and product of the chemical reaction using their correct chemical formula. The unbalanced equation is shown on screen. Step 2. Tabulated the formula unit in the equation. An atom, a molecule or an ion in the chemical equation forming one unit on its own is a formula unit. Step 3. Place suitable coefficient before the formula unit for comparing and balancing the number of the atom of each elements on the both side. Mark a note, the formula of reactant and product cannot be changed during the balancing of the chemical equation. Step 4. Check for equal number of atoms of an element on both sides of the equation using the table. On left side hydrogen is 4 and oxygen is 2, and right hand side 4 H2O means H means 4 or hydrogen oxygen is 2. Note a mark, the coefficient should be reduced to their smallest whole number by adding the equation throughout with the common divisor if the need arises. For example, propane HC3H8 is colorless gas with no smell. It is used as cooking fuel. It combined with oxygen to form carbon dioxide, water, heat, and light. The combining of chemical equation of these reactions involve the following steps. Step 1. Represent the reactant and product of a chemical reaction using their correct chemical formula. The unbalanced equation is shown on a screen. Propane, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water, plus heat and light. Step 2. Tabulate the formula unit of an equation. Here, carbon C, hydrogen H, oxygen O are the formula unit. Left hand side, carbon is 3, hydrogen is 8, oxygen is 2. And right hand side, carbon is 1, hydrogen is 2, and oxygen is 3. Step 3. Unbalanced equation. For placing suitable coefficient before the formula unit of the unbalanced equation, place 3 as a coefficient before carbon dioxide on the right hand side, or balance the carbon atom on the both side. By placing 4 as a coefficient before H2O on the right hand side, and hydrogen atom in the equation can be balanced. The balance the leftover oxygen formula unit, we put the total number of oxygen atom on the right hand side and find it as 10. The balance of oxygen atom is completed by the adding 5 as a coefficient before oxygen on the left hand side. Step 4. Check for equal number of atom of an element on both sides of the equation using the table.